Welcome everybody to another episode of Latifs Inspired. Today I'm going to be making a very simple chicken biryani dish. People are scared to make a biryani, but I've come up with a recipe. I've worked on it to make it really simple and uses less ingredients to get the maximum flavor. When these chefs or these on the YouTube people making these biryanis, they're using so many ingredients, it can confuse the normal people who actually want to try to cook it at home. So as you know, my channel is a bit of a no-nonsense kind of cooking. I simplify it so anybody can cook the recipes if you follow how I'm going to make it for you. Now, to cook a biryani, you just have to master a few techniques, and I've got this amazing recipe for you guys to try. So make sure you watch till the end and hit the like button, guys. Help me boost the video up and kick it out on the YouTube algorithm. And I don't know why some of my subscribers haven't hit the bell icon when I'm releasing videos. I want all you guys to support me on my work that I'm doing. So hopefully you're going to enjoy this amazing recipe and watch till the end to see how simple it is. I promise you it's not going to be worth your while if you cook the dish, and you're gonna enjoy cooking the dish. When you're cooking with me, trust me, you're gonna enjoy it. So let's make this amazing chicken biryani for you guys. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. So I got my spice. So you got your chili powder, your cumin, your curry powder, garam masala, turmeric, coriander powder, and a few of the whole spices, which is the garam masala. And I use the East End brand. If you're wondering, I recommend East End. I think it's the best quality. Here are some whole garam masala, star anise for fragrance, and some cardamom, clove, cinnamon, cumin. Now you're wondering, if I'm making biryani, why have I got cumin? Cumin, I like the flavor of it, but you can use Shahi Zira. And I've got some Bangladeshi dry bay leaf, which is the tespata. Smash garlic. These are fresh, guys. You need fresh garlic and ginger for this. Fresh ginger, some salt. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, you need to get. This is the ALOO bukhar. This is very crucial. You get this to get that biryani flavor. It's a dried plum. You will need to go to an Asian supermarket to get this ALOO bukhar. So dried plum for biryanis. If you just tell them you want to make a biryani, you're looking for dried plum, this is the one. About 380 grams of onions, about medium size. Now this is the basmati pilla rice. I've washed it about 3-4 times, and I've put it, there's about 700 grams of rice over here. So basmati pilla rice. Washed it a few times, left it in water for just over an hour. Some oil, some green chilies, and I've got this 1 kg of chicken. It's it's taking the skin off there, so I'll show you how to get that prepared, and it comes nice and clean as well. So here are your ingredients, and we're going to start cooking. Chicken look nice and clean, so they've done the job for me. Basically now we're just going to score the chicken. This gives it a lot of flavor, and all the marinade and everything will go in there wonderfully. There you go, really simple. There you go. So as you can see, that's all you need to do. Very simple. Right, the chicken's washed and cleaned, and just left it on the strain for about a good 5-10 minutes. If I didn't mention, this is 1 kg of chicken. Right, adding some salt, a good teaspoon. The chicken needs to have a bit of flavor. We're going to add salt in the cooking process as well as the rice, but the salt needs to penetrate into the chicken so you get some really flavoursome chicken. 1 teaspoon of turmeric for colour and flavour. Chili powder, 1.5 teaspoons. Use Kashmiri chili powder. It's got a lovely colour as well as flavour, and it's not too hot. Don't use the extra hot chili powder. It's quite, you don't want it to be that hot. Right, curry powder, 1, 2. This is all your spices that is going in to your biryani. Coriander powder, 1, to, this gives a lovely flavor. The balance of coriander and curry powder is bit delicious, and the curry powder has got everything in it, so it's quite good. And if you get a decent brand like the Eastern brand, you're gonna have a fantastic flavored curry, biryanis, whatever you have. So this is just half a teaspoon of cumin and about half a teaspoon of garam masala. There are all your spices. Now we're going to add just good old vegetable oil. Vegetable oil is nice and neutral. This is going to be needed for the marination of the chicken and to keep it nice, loose and moist. So that's 4 tablespoons going in. Beautiful. And lastly, I forgot to say, we're going to need some yogurt. So some left. So 1, 2, 3. Let me clean out the pot. So about 3.5, 4 tablespoons, guys. That's sufficient. No more. There you go. Now wash your hands and get stuck in and give this a nice mix. Right, that's all the marinade. I gave it a nice mix with the yogurt, and now you need to cling film this up and leave it in the fridge for a good hour. You need at least an hour for all those spices to penetrate into the chicken. That's essential you do that. So I'm going to put this in the fridge and then I'm going to start cooking the biryani. Right, bismillah. We're going to start making the biryani. The chicken's been marinated, it's still in the fridge, so it's been about an hour. So now we're gonna, this is the boiling water. Now you're wondering, why am I making this early? I'll tell you why. Because I want all the flavors from the garam masala to extract into the water, and when I add the rice is gonna absorb all those flavors. It's gonna be wonderful. Right, I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Or your garam masala. Now you can use Shahi Zero, but the cumin seeds, I love that flavor, and you get that little nuttiness when you bite into it. It's beautiful. And these tezpata, which is the bay leaf, is going to release a nice sweet sort of flavor. The cinnamon, spice. This is the cassia bark, by the way. This is the Asian cassia bark. This is going to release fragrant sort of spicy sort of flavor. The clove as well as nice and fragrant and spicy. And I've got some cardamom. Lightly give it a smash, open it up. It releases all the flavors. Now star anise can be overpowering, but it's got a lovely essence and a lovely licorice flavor. So I'm using 2 star anise. That is enough. I think 1 I would get away with it, but to make it look good for the channel, I'm using about 2. Peppercorns, good pinch. There's probably literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 little peppercorns. Now, sometimes when you bite into it, it can be very spicy. So I try not to use too many, but it needs a nice flavor. Right, that's heated up. Let's whack this in. Bismillah. So the reason why I put in the oil is just to cook this and toast it wonderfully, and it just brings everything to life. As you can hear that snap, crackle and pop. That's wonderful. Now we're going to use a bit of salt. Oh, trust me, that fragrance is wonderful. This is a high heat. I'm just going to lower the heat. There you go. And literally about a minute or something just to toast up, and that oil just helps it, everything just caramelize, well, not caramelize, sort of toast wonderfully. Now I've bought some water. That goes in. Bismillah. So there you go. This water is simmering away, and I'll put in the rice when it's needed. The rice literally going to take about 5 to 7 minutes because you're going to parboil it sort of 60%. But this extraction of all these garam masala is going to bring out all the flavor. That's what I'm looking. And now let's start cooking this amazing chicken. Bismillah. Right, to start cooking the chicken, I'm using CHANA butter ghee. It's going to be 3 heaped tablespoons. 1, 2, 3. That was 3 heat tablespoon, guys. You need this flavor for the biryani. The ghee gives it an enormous flavor. Right, so let that just come to a nice heat. Right, I waited a few minutes for the ghee to heat up, and now we add in 3 medium onions, which is, I worked out 380 grams. Bismillah. This process is really important because what you're doing is you're sort of frying the onions to get that flavour. Now, when you're making the biryani, loads of people faff around, and yeah, it's fine, don't get me wrong, to use the fried onions and stuff, but sometimes I feel it just complicates people for the general folk. So this, you're going to have the flavour of the fried onions and the curry all in one, and it's going to be so simple. But like I said, I'm just going to show you. Right, so the onions are cooking away, and that's your garam masala on a nice little simmer. I've just added a bit more water, so let it come to a nice little simmer on a very low gas. There you go. It's on a very low gas. Now this onion is going to take about a good 15 minutes, I would say. Right, the onions are cooking away wonderfully. I forgot to mention we need to add about 1 teaspoon of grated ginger into the water. So in the Bangladeshi household, we use a bit more ginger for the pilau rice. It's wonderful flavour. The ginger gives it a nice sweetness. That's why we add it. Onions are smelling wonderful. And also the reason why I used a bit of oil is because when you add the rice, it releases some starch, so the oil just helps it to be individual. So that's why you could add the oil afterwards, but I added at the beginning to help toast the garam masala. It just brings out the flavour, and that's my tip for you guys to do at home. So let this come to a nice little bubble, and these are cooking wonderfully. About 6-7 minutes it's been, so it needs a good 10-15 minutes to become nice, soft and translucent. Wonderful. Right guys, this has got the fried sort of flavour that I wanted. It's literally been about 10 minutes, so it's kind of sticking at the bottom. That's that caramelization, the sweetness from the onions. So now, that's why I said to you, it's no nonsense, no faffing around, frying the onions, doing this, doing that and the other. Follow these methods and you're going to get a wonderful biryani, and that is a promise. So that's been a good 10 minutes cooking. Now we're going to add, this is the fresh grated ginger, so a good heaped tablespoon. There you go. This is the grated garlic. I love garlic, so there you go. That's 1. Good. You know what? I'm going to be greedy and add 1.5. So that's 1.5 tablespoons of garlic. Wow! As soon as it's hit that ghee, it's a wonderful fragrance. Now we're going to add some salt, and what that salt's going to do is going to soften everything up, and it's also going to flavour the chicken. So it's 1 kg chicken, so I need about a good 1.5 teaspoon of salt, but it's going to have a lot of rice, so there's 1 teaspoon of salt gone into that water, so I'm going to need 2 teaspoons of salt. So 2 teaspoons of salt, enough to flavour the curry, and there's 1 teaspoon of salt that I've added into the simmering water. So that should be enough salt seasoning for the basmati rice. So now put the gas down, And we're going to cook everything because I don't want the ginger and garlic to burn because it has a bitter taste. I just want it to become slightly golden. So we're going to cook this for a good 5 more minutes, and that should take the rawness away from the ginger and garlic, and that's on a low heat. There you go, and we'll come back to it shortly. Right, since I've added the ginger and garlic, it's been 4 or 5 minutes. Look at the lovely caramelization of the onions. This is what I wanted, sort of sticking to the side. It's beautiful. And now we are going to add, it's still on a low gas, let's add the wonderful chicken. So here you go, it's been marinating for an hour. All the spice has penetrated into the chicken. Bismillah. Wipe this in. Make sure you get all that spice and the yogurt, everything. Now crank up the heat to the highest heat on this knob and let this cook. We'll come back to it in a few minutes. Sort of sticking to the bottom. You don't want that to happen too much, you get a bitter taste. So all I want is just the chicken to get cooked. So what I'm going to do now is reduce the gas to a low heat and let all the natural liquid from the chicken come out. Give this a stir. It's caught the bottom a little bit, which is fine, don't worry about it, but don't add any water. There's enough liquid in the yogurt, and there's going to release some lovely liquids from the chicken. There you go, wonderful. Just needed a good stir. That caramelization is lovely flavors, but with a spoon, just take it out like that. So we need to BHUNA this chicken wonderfully, so you mustn't add any water. However, if you're not using much oil or ghee, you might need to add just a little bit of water so it doesn't burn. So there you go. So sort of low gas and let this cook. Right guys, the chicken's been cooking away for about good 16 minutes or so. The oil is separating. The chicken is still not fully cooked. This garam masala, I swear to God, it is bringing out some lovely fragrance. I'm excited myself to have this biryani. Check this out. There you go, wonderful. Now if my friend's wife is watching this, Miss Parvin, I'm sorry, but she's got a bit of OCD with my edging, but I can't be cleaning this edges all the time with a tissue while I'm cooking. Although I normally use the stainless steel and I just wipe it like that, but with the wooden spoon, because everybody doesn't like the noise, I can't do it, so I'm trying my best to please everybody. There you go. This chicken, like this itself, it tastes absolutely gorgeous, I promise you. Look at that. Can you hear it? It's saying eat me. Wonderful. So we're going to wait a few more minutes and then we're going to start the next process. But now we're going to start cooking this the rice. Right, this is the rice. I just strained some of the water and now we're going to add it in. Bismillah. There you go. Now we're going to crank up the heat for the boiling water and let it come to a boil. 6 to 8 minutes, guys, and it'll be ready. And I'll show you when easily. There you go. I mean, all the starch has come out because the rice has been actually soaked for just over an hour, but I did say an hour for you guys, so the more the merrier. There you go, just give it a stir and let all that flavour sort of go into the rice. Wonderful. And when you see the rice sort of rising, that's when I'll tell you what to do. All right, let's check on the beautiful chicken. It's literally been 20 minutes now, cooking away wonderfully. There you go. And now we're going to add some green chilies. This looks nice when the rice is going to be together, and we're going to keep it whole, and it's going to release some lovely flavors. I'm going to give you a little tip what to do. We're going to break off the little tip. There you go. And that's going to release the flavor, but it's going to stay whole. And do that to all of these. And also, I mentioned you're going to need the aloo bukhar. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 is sufficient. This gives it a sort of like that sour sweetness to it. This aloo bukhar, dried plum, this is essential to get that biryani sort of flavor. So whack that in. It's sort of dried, so it needs to soften up and create a wonderful flavor. That's what I'm looking for, guys. It's all about flavor, and the biryani isn't a biryani without aloo bukhar. Let me show you. Look at that. While the rice is coming to a boil, I've put the lid on, so that should help. And just admiring this wonderful chicken. So just slow cook this for a good 5 minutes or so while this rice is being ready. And then we're going to put everything together. Right, the rice is sort of bubbling to the top. There you go. Slightly coming up. There you go. That's literally 4 minutes. Amazing. Such a humble dish, but it's beautiful. Wonderful. Right, I added the rice into the boiling water. It's been literally 5 minutes. Let's check this out for you guys. So here you go. They're just slightly breaking away. Still got hard bits, little bits. So now I know it's ready. Let me show you. If you can see that, there you go. And yep, still hard, but it's like got a break to it. So now that's ready. I'm going to turn the gas off, give it a nice mix, and sieve out all the water. Check the rice out, smelling wonderful. All that garam masala and everything steaming away, the cumin seeds and all. So now we're going to layer the biryani. So this is the same pot. Now we're going to add about a tablespoon or a teaspoon of ghee. Give it a brush. What this is going to do is basically prevent the rice from sticking to the bottom. There you go. And it's also that rice which does stick to the bottom is going to create a lovely crust on the rice, and it's beautiful. So there you go. That's done. Let's whack in some rice. Just naturally. There you go. Now this lovely BHUNA chicken going in. Amazing fragrance from the chicken, promise you. There you go. Some more of this rice. There you go. And now, lastly, for a bit more flavour, no colouring, no food colouring, just its natural ingredients. And if you're wondering where's the coriander, didn't have any fresh coriander today, so I've made without. So basically you meant to add the coriander when you added the layers of the chicken, but I prefer it like this anyway. There you go. Wonderful. Now all you do, get foil paper, put a lid on, there you go. That's sealed wonderfully. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, the biryani is formed, and now if you've got one of these tava, it's great. So what this does is sort of distributes the heat evenly. So we're going to put the biryani, it's called a dum now. So basically let's heat this up, and then we're going to put the biryani pot on here and leave it for a good half an hour. Right, the tava took a few minutes to heat up, and now let's put the biryani in. Bismillah, tawakkul Allah. There you go. Put the gas to a low heat, and we're going to time this for exactly 30 minutes. It's on a low heat at the moment, so we'll come back to it in about half an hour. Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a good half an hour on the lowest heat. Now I'll turn the gas off, and I'm going to remove this. Oh, that's heavy. There you go. Now let this rest for a good 20 minutes to half an hour, and then we'll check on the biryani. You need to let all that sort of steam now and let it all settle and rest, and let the temperature go a bit down, and then we're going to go in for the biryani. Wonderful. My blessed mom, beloved mom, has bought me some coriander because I was moaning there's no coriander, and I've been quite busy, so I couldn't go to a shop. So I'm going to add the coriander when I'm sort of mixing it. But if you added the coriander right before, when you added the chicken and the rice, when you're layering it, it would have been better. Some people add the coriander and green mint, but I just prefer coriander. I think it's better. There you go. Lovely. Now that's been resting for 10 minutes. Give it at least another 10 more minutes. So half an hour was fantastic, but a good 20 minutes. And then we're going to remove the biryani and show you this amazing rice and chicken and so on. Lovely. Right. So now the biryani I cooked, I should have waited about half an hour, but I was a bit impatient. So 25 minutes, I turned it off. And then I let it rest for another 15 minutes. I should have let it rest for another 20 minutes. We didn't have coriander to start off with, but luckily my mom went to a shop and bought some coriander. Here you go, fresh cut coriander. And now the moment of truth. Bismillah. So this is called a dum, so it wasn't all that steam cooking away. And I'll cook the rice to perfection and the chicken BHUNA and everything. So this is the moment of truth. Bismillah, tawakkul Allah, voila. There you go. Look at the individual rice. Look how long it's gone. Let me bring one out for you. Look at that. That is amazing. Just from your normal basmati rice. So now, let's, obviously the fresh coriander. There you go. In fact, I mean, it's more fragrant now, really. So if you put it in last minute, it's probably going to be better. So there you go. Now, let's give this, Bismillah. It's not stuck to the bottom, which is amazing. There's no food coloring. I could have used saffron. I do have saffron in the house. But I've kept it so simple that anybody can make. And most of these ingredients, everyone's got at home. But this aloo bukhar, the dried plum, the damsel plum, I think that's what it is. This brings that sort of sour flavor. Oh, it smells so wonderful. Look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the rice. Look at the rice. This is amazing. And the natural colors from the turmeric and the spices and the curry powder. Wow. The green chilies are whole, the garam masala, the bay leaf. This is wonderful. So I got it right to how I wanted it. And now we're going to have to go for a taste test. And I've got a good old friend who's just popped by to help me taste this wonderful biryani. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with how the rice has come out. And it's mainly, I was worried about you guys. Tried to make this as simple as possible. And the rice at the bottom, there you go. That's that crust I was talking about. This over here. So slight little crust. When you have it, it's got that flavor of the ghee. It's going to be amazing. So now that's been mixed. Now this looks like your traditional biryani. Look at that star anise. Wow. Now this is wonderful. Fantastic. And now we need to give it a taste. Right. So Maruf's here to help me taste test. And I just want to show this off because I'm actually really proud of this. It's so simple, and you can see the whole garam masala, the cumin seed, the star anise, and the amazing colors. The bit of yellow, white, and what you would expect in a biryani. The coriander last did it amazing. Maruf, what do you think, honestly?
Like Latif says, lovely jubbly, mate.
Yeah.
No, this looks really nice.
Yep.
Colourful, individual rice. Can't wait to give it a taste, mate.
Would you say this is traditional looking?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay,
definitely.
I've changed the method quite slightly to make it easier for everyone to do. So I want everyone at home, guys, to try this. It's so simple. Don't be worried. I'm happy with it, and it smells wonderful. Now me and Maruf are going to taste it. Right, so I've got good old Maruf with me, and we're going to give this a taste test. So what do you think, Maruf?
You know, about a year and a half ago, everything would taste nice to me. It's either nice or it's not. But now, I think with that little bit of experience, mashallah, from Latif, I think I'm able to tell him whether it's nice or not. And it already smells nice, so yeah. I'm sure it's going to taste nice.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, it smells so fragrant. It's wonderful. That ginger and garlic and that caramelization of the onions, I think it's done a wonderful job. And the rice is all individual. Do you know what? Let's give it a taste. Bismillah. There you go. Let me just show you some of this rice. I mean, look at that. Look at that. This looks amazing. Let's give that a taste. Bismillah. I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but this, it's got all the authentic flavors that you would expect in a biryani. And I'm really happy with that, Maruf. You give it a try. Try a bit of that chicken as well, please.
Of course. Bit of chicken, bit of rice. Here we go. Oh, this is lovely. The chicken is succulent, soft. You can taste all the flavors in the chicken as well as the rice. Absolutely fantastic.
It's not overpowering in the spices, right?
No. Yeah. I can taste the spices, but it's not overpowering. No, that's right. This is well done, mate. Well done.
No, I'm happy with this. I'm happy with Maruf's come here. We're actually going to go to the local embankment and see our friends. But this is amazing. I've made it so simple because I had so many requests to do a biryani because people are scared to make a biryani. But this is so easy. If you follow the recipes, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. And yeah, join me on Instagram for more personal interaction and DM me for messages because I can't always reply to YouTube. So thank you very much. Love you guys for supporting me. And press the bell notification for the new videos because I don't know why you're not watching all my new videos. See you soon. Gracias.